Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, last one of the night, and we have a bit of a good story here. It's because it's the belief, I think, that they've got power. The EU have decided that they're going to fine Elon Musk's X a whopping £120 million. Good luck with that. They're saying it's because he is failing to abide by the Digital Services Act, which is basically their way of saying that he is not censoring speech properly. They have things called transparency obligations, and the blue check mark is a problem because it means that people can access the site and they can say more than other people. Well, the thing is, it's not a free-to-air service. If you want to pay for the blue check mark, you can do so. It's a private company. The great thing is, it's not even a European company. It's an American company. And as for the censorship, well, America enjoys the First Amendment, something that we need but will never get because our government, the last thing they want is for us to have free speech. And anyway, they're saying that this blue check mark is deceptive. It's not, and that the company had failed to provide access to public data required by the law. Basically, what they've said is they're creating a law which means that they want, by this law, to have the right to look at all the data that X has on people. X is saying no, that data is safe. It's under GDPR, under their own laws. It says, and they are not having any access to X, the platform, its data, its programming, or anything. They can whistle. And they said, well, there's a £120 million fine. And he's gone, fine, I'm just throwing it with all the other fines that he is never, ever going to pay. Is it any wonder that there has been no huge, giant, world-leading tech company that's ever come out of the EU? Of course not. They want to strangle it at birth. How dare you be successful and we're not involved? This is why all these things happen abroad, where the EU cannot get its little cancerous tendrils entwined into anything. Now, you've got a guy called, or a girl rather, a lady called Henna Vikkonen, who is the the title is fantastic. She's the European Commission's Vice Executive President for Tech Sovereignty. Sovereignty. She thinks that she can take sovereignty over tech and own it. No, it's not yours. It wasn't made in Europe. You can sod off, Anyway, she said, we're not here to impose the highest fines, and yet strangely did. We're here to make sure that our digital legislation is enforced. If you comply with our rules, you don't get a fine. Musk is saying, I don't obey your rules. I'm not a European citizen. You can FRO. What are they going to do? Ban X? Let's say they do. Let's say, right, nowhere in Europe will people be allowed to use X. Good luck with that. Number one, VPNs. Number two, every single politician that ever drew breath on God's good earth uses X because they want to get their message out there. And there is no other platform. They tried with Blue Sky, but that died a death. The other big one, of course, is Truth Social, but they won't use that, will they? No, can't use Trump's one. So there is only X. What are they going to do? Make their own. That'll be a success, won't it? Oh, you're going to jail because you said something. Anyway, it's got so bad. Even what's his name? Vice President Vance, JD Vance, stepped in. He said that there's rumours swirling that the EU Commission will fine X hundreds of millions of dollars for not engaging in censorship. The EU should be supporting free speech, he said, not attacking American companies over garbage, especially when those American companies are protected by the American Constitution. Basically, flipping them the bird. So there we go. I'll flip them a bird too. This is why everything in Europe is shit, because the EU want to get their little, they've got to be involved everywhere. They think they're important. Here's a deal. If I was in charge of Britain tomorrow, and I'd just say, just as an aside, if I was in charge of Britain tomorrow and said, right, I want a deal, I'm going to go to Germany and say, if you want to import your cars without a tariff, we'll sign an agreement, just you and me, Germany. And then France says, we can't do that, you have to deal with the EU and say, no, we don't recognise the EU. You can recognise it. We do not recognise the EU. We only recognise sovereign countries. Now, Germany, do you want that deal? Or should we put a 50% tariff on your cars? Germany will sign that deal. France, you make Peugeots and Citroens and all the other rubbish cars. Would you like a deal, or do you want a 50% tariff on your cars? France would sign that deal in a heartbeat, and so on. And if everyone around the world just suddenly did that and treated individual countries as individual countries and just plainly ignored the EU would go away like that. And the world would be a far better place. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed today's output. More tomorrow. We start again. And do please hit the like button. Absolutely hit the subscribe button. And leave a comment. And thanks. Thank you all for today. Been marvellous. Bye.